Okay, I'm back with I've only got a couple of minutes here, but we've been answering a lot of questions for the last several months on this Vintage47 amps tone transfer module that we came out with. I've been making these for years, just kind of jury rigging things inside of amps and sticking them in any old kind of box, but we finally did something nice and official. It's a line out box, but it's not just a line out box. It's specifically made for all the amps that don't have a line out provision built into the amplifier, which more specifically is all old amps after or probably before 1961 or 2. So for the vintage guy, this is the ticket. When you have that cool old amplifier sitting in the closet, you love to play at home in your bedroom because it's got the great sound, but you can't take it to the gig because you get outgunned and buried in all of the drum noise and stuff. That's what I built this to answer, that specific need to get that sound moved over to something to make it louder. So basically it's a matching transformer setup specifically to take a speaker sample off of any old amp under 25 watts. So if you can take the back cover off and get to that, we actually provide an alligator clip 5-foot lead that you can go in and grab the speaker. That plugs into this outlet. Now you can also continue on to another speaker when you want to insert this in the speaker line. So you disconnect speaker, come in, go back out, and go back to the speaker, and then an additional speaker, but in essence, cut it into the line. It's just got a strength control, and it has a ground loop switch in it to break any ground loop, because it goes from balanced to unbalanced or balanced on this jack, or balanced XRLs for mic type cables and console cables and stuff. So when you grab this sample off of your speaker, it does not disable the amplifier that you're playing. Your small amp can still be used as your personal monitor, which is what I like to do, because I carry a little small amp like this, little 5-watt amp. I carry that to a jam session, and I find somebody with a great big 45-pound amp that he's been lugging around that's got 2 or 3 channels, and I just asked to borrow a channel. And I take the unbalanced line out and I put it right into one of his inputs, and I can get my amp as loud as he can get his amp through that second channel, and I never get buried. Basically making his large amp a slave to my small amp. And that's a wonderful use for this thing. I could also take this into an empty channel in the PA. I could take it to a mixing board or a house board or a recording console. And because I can vary the strength, I can take that level from 0 all the way up to some pretty hefty output, but limited to not hurt any equipment. So that's the device. Real simple, quick demonstration is I've already clipped this on the speaker. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go to the other end, and I'm going to go out the unbalanced side. And right now I've got it turned down. So there's nothing coming out of this national reissue amplifier. I'm the world's worst guitar player, so you got to bear with me on that. But I just want you to hear that that's all coming out of here. And this line out goes right into the input here, and I'm going to make this a slave to this amp and continue to use this as my personal monitor. So when I turn this up, it sounds pretty balanced right there because their volume's about the same. But I can actually turn this amp down. Turn this amp up. transfer module. We don't call it a line out because it's too specific for these types of uses where you're clipping a speaker lead and you're not, do not have a line out provision on the amplifier that you're using, which includes all the old stuff. So now that little amp, it can be a giant slayer. You can take it to the gig, slave another guy's amp, let him do all the heavy leg work, or you can put it into the PA system or the mixing board and you're right in there in the mix. So thanks.